reason you're all here is for Dylan and his charity run by Tracy. When I got the news that I got a phone call, because I was Dylan's youth team manager, he was training with me every day, and he had been called up to play for Australia in the World Cup in Mexico, the Junior World Cup. And as Tracy alluded to, and he failed a drugs test after scoring 2 goals against, I think, Uruguay, I believe. And he failed the drugs test, and obviously the second drugs test showed that he's got a problem, and then he had testicular cancer. So I was told that Dylan has got cancer, and he was on the other side of the world, really, basically, at that point. And my first phone call was obviously to notify the clubs. I rang Carr MBE. And not the easiest person to get on with, I have to say. And I worked for her for a good few years, but she wasn't the easiest person. But she said to me, I told her that Dylan had failed a drugs test, but it had found out that he had testicular cancer. And she said to me, give me Dylan's mum and dad's phone numbers and give me their names, because she didn't really know their names at that point. And she said, I want you to reassure them, whatever it costs for him to get treated, West Ham United will pay. And throughout his treatment in the 3 years, Trace, was it? Throughout the 3 years of his treatment, where he was going backwards and forwards to various places and various countries to get treated, West Ham paid for everything. Flights to Germany to see specialists, flights back, etc., etc. So, although she gets a bit of a bad rap at times, her generosity, and she kept her word until the day that Dylan passed. And I have to just tell a story, really, that the last time that I saw Dylan, because when he was having treatment, he would come back to the training ground because he loved to train. He loved, football was his life, and he loved to train. And he used to come back to the training ground and train, and you'd look at him, and during training, you'd never know that there was a problem. And many a time we thought, well, he's kicked this, he's beat this. You know, he's a fit young man. He was 17, 18 years old. He's a fit young man. But obviously, cancer is a terrible thing, and it has rears its ugly head and comes back now and again, which it did. But every time Dylan used to come to the training ground, he used to come and see us, and maybe at lunchtime where he watched training, and if you couldn't take part, he was always upbeat, smiling. Yeah, I'm all right, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. Not a problem. Well, the last time I actually saw Dylan, sadly, just a few weeks just before he passed, he came to the training ground, he was having lunch, and he leant against the radiator at the training ground, and he's leaning against the wall. And I said to Dylan, how are you, Dylan? And for the very first time, he put his head down like that, and he just shook his head. He went, no. And it was like a thunderbolt that hit me. I thought, well, if he's saying that, he knows he's got a bit of a problem. And that was the last time I actually saw Dylan. I spoke at his funeral and said a few kind words to Tracy and Jim, his dad, and obviously Taylor, his brother. But if there was ever a fighter, it was Dylan. He was a fighter. Sam Allardyce gave him his debut in a League Cup game at Upton Park. Hence he had a squad number of number 38. And I'm really pleased, and I think the family were really pleased that that event took place. And tribute to Sam for giving him that. But he would have been good enough. He would have made the grade. He was there or thereabouts at the time the illness struck, and he would have made the grade. And that's not just saying it because he's now passed. He would have done. He was a real promising, with lots and lots of potential, promising young player. So all I would say is may he rest in peace. He's sadly missed, and he was a good golfer as well. Really good golfer. That's all I've got to say about Dylan.